Hello everyone and welcome to my review of the 2025 V-19 Torrent Starfighter. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite set I've picked up this year, so I'm gonna be a little biased throughout this video, but I'm gonna try and approach everything as unbiasedly as I can, just to give you the most accurate review of the set as I can. So let's get into minifigures first. Up first, we've got the brand new clone pilot. Now, I've been waiting for this fig for a long time. It really should have come out with the Republic gunship a couple years ago, but it didn't, and so we have it here today. I personally am pretty happy with this fig overall. I've got a couple key issues with it, but we'll talk about the good first, of course. First, I think the chest print is great. I like that the chest and legs both are using the same general base print as the normal clone troopers now. And then they got a nice little kind of air respirator thing on top to make it look, pilotized or whatever. My opinion gets a little more jaded when I look at the helmet mold. First of all, as many people have pointed out, the render on the box is actually different than the actual print itself, where the edges of the visor are supposed to go further to the corners of the helmet, and they don't. And so I think the actual physical fig looks worse than the render does. And then the other thing that I think I haven't heard many people talk about, but I feel like when I watch Clone Wars as a TV show and the clones the pilot clones have a rounded helmet, it looks right. And for something about this mold for this clone pilot helmet just doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is. I feel like maybe it's a little bit, maybe they added a bit of a bump to it to make it larger, but I just feel like it's slightly overinflated. But yeah, so this fig is a little bit hard for me to get behind. Overall, I'd say it's probably a 6 out of 10, but it's serviceable. It's good that we have it. I'm happy we have a clone pilot now. Let's move on. Next up, we have this all-new Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. And again, this is a fig that we've been waiting for and needing for a long time. The last time we got a Clone Wars Obi-Wan was years ago. So the fact that they made one now, I'm really excited about this. I think the chest print is great. They did a good job of capturing the kind of layers that he wears in the early seasons of Clone Wars, with the armor printing up on the top part of his chest looking great. I think the leg print they did a great job with, just having the Jedi robe part hang down from the chest print into the leg print and then down to his cloned boots. I think that's great. This left arm is actually such a good print that it makes me almost think more of a Clone Army Customs looking figure. I think it's so detailed that it's a little bit surprising to me that it's almost beyond what Lego would normally do. And then on the left side, we've just got a nice little comm link thing. The back of the print, obviously nothing crazy to write home about, just continuing that armor piece onto the front. But I think this fig is incredible. I think it's one of the best new Lego minifigures to come out in years. I think the detail is pretty much perfect. I don't have any complaints about this fig. And he has an alternate face piece. So he has this little angry version of Obi-Wan, and then there's his regular kind of confident, happy Obi-Wan. So phenomenal fig. Very, very happy with this. 10 out of 10. And then lastly, we have our all-new Ventress minifigure. So again, this is a fig we've been waiting for years. Lego really went all out with this set, giving us figs we haven't seen in a long time, so I'm really happy about that. I think the face print on this fig is great, even though it is missing pupils. Again, I still don't know why Lego is so locked in on not putting pupils on certain figs. It's just strange to me. We've got no printing on the arms, but that makes sense because she wears kind of a tank top in the show, and then the chest print and leg print itself is fairly simplistic, fairly easy, but she doesn't wear tons of clothes in Clone Wars, so it's fine, I think, how it is with this purple look with all the wrappings that she has going on. I think it is a solid fig. All right, now what you've been waiting for, of course, the actual V-19 ship itself. And I gotta say, right off the bat, I really, really like this ship. I think it's a very good design overall. I think it's got a lot of great detail to it, a lot of great design ideas and all kinds of stuff. But the main downside that you get to right away is the play feature of how you get the wings out, because you have to fold these two wings down and then flip the other one itself, and it's all kind of done one by one. And on the original set, they had this kind of cool feature where you could move one of them and it moved the other three, and I really liked that, and so it's sad not to see it return. But I do understand why they did that, because if you look at this set, it is far more accurate to what the ship looked like in the actual show. This set, I think, does a great job of replicating its visuals, where if we look at the top of the ship in this one compared to the old one, it's way more smoothed out, detailed. I love the way that they sealed all of this off with white bricks here and just gave it a lot of cool body lines and angles, and it feels really like cohesive. And I mean, look at the top of that ship. It doesn't scream Lego, it just screams spaceship, which I think is really cool. I think the print they've done on the wings here is great, with the sticker detail of the Republic logo and these little lines, and it's all very smoothed out and tiled out as much as possible, so it really helps this set kind of come alive. Looking on the bottom wing, we have this side is all smoothed out with tile pieces and stuff to make it look all neat and clean, which I think looks really great, whereas the other side, they tried a bit by adding, you know, 1 or 2 rows of smoothing out with tiles, but overall it does look a little bit worse, but that's fairly normal coming from Lego. You would hope that when you close the wings, it would hide the detail of that not being tiled off, but because it sticks out the back like this, well, you just kind of get what you get. And the underside of the main wing also looks, you know, a little rough. Which, if you're just supposed to display this set, you know, folded up and landed, it's kind of tough because it looks very much worse when it's folded up. The nice thing is, though, if you wanted to be able to display it, you can just set it on its side like this, as M&R Productions showed me in his video. And I really like that you're able to do that, which is really cool. All right, switching over to talk about the cannons design here. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how they managed to do the cannons with this. As we know, earlier in the year, we got the ARC 170, which had a terrible cannon design. So the way they integrated a stud shooter into here, honestly, not too bad for me. I like that they've wrapped the whole thing in tile and stuff. So it looks pretty good, pretty accurate to the show. And then taking a look back at the engines in the back, I think this is a really big highlight. I think it's very, very cool that they used barrels as the way to make these engines. It does look really cool, really robotic or industrial, so I like the way that they handled that. It is strange to me that they have this one gray piece in here, but I guess it does add a little bit more detail and color, and I don't know, looks nice. The rear of the ship overall does actually look pretty good. There's not a lot going on back here, but it doesn't look terrible, which is the case for some Lego sets. One thing I did notice, however, is these 2 pieces can easily pop off with just a little bit of pressure, which does seem a little bit odd because this is the part of the set that you are supposed to be holding on to while you're flying it. I mean, I guess you hold it from the bottom wing, but your hand's gonna be in that general area, and so it's a little goofy to me that if you're trying to fly the ship around, you can just pop those pieces off really easily. So that was annoying to me. A lot of people have said that the wings themselves are too stubby when it's in its folded up position, or even when it's in its flight position, or maybe that they're too thick. Personally, I just couldn't disagree more. I think this set is just really great. I think it encapsulates everything that the set looked like in the show without sacrificing too much to make it a playset or make it any sort of fun gimmicks or anything like that. It really just does capture the ship itself, the V-19, like the essence of the V-19 very, very well. So I'm honestly very happy with this ship, with the over design. I don't have any major things to say against it, honestly. So there you have it. That's my opinion on this year's V-19 set. Now, I'm sure plenty of you will disagree with me, so go in the comments and tell me what you think I'm wrong about. Tell me how you feel about these minifigures. Tell me how you feel about that new clone pilot. Or hey, tell me that you think I'm wrong about the wings being too short. I don't care. I will respond in the comments. We can have it out. Have a good one.